Welcome back to another video, everyone. I want to talk to you a little bit about dieting and most importantly, how to get back on track with a diet when you have fallen off. At the beginning of October of this year, I had a powerlifting competition that I was very much involved in managing my weight to be able to compete. When that competition ended, I said that I was going to take some time to kind of remove all of the restraints that I have put on myself dietarily. This wasn't such a terrible idea. It was a good time to kind of reset my mentality towards weight loss, towards weight maintenance. However, I kind of went a little bit off the rails. I deal with a lot of disordered eating patterns, which is why I make so many videos on disordered eating and how to kind of control that eating to the best of your ability. And so I kind of let things get a little bit out of control. Now, I've made a couple decisions to manage that disordered eating a little bit better, but there was one major decision that I made that is really going to help me get back on track with my diet, with just maintaining weight, with just creating a better environment around food and a better mindset around food. And with that preamble out of the way, I would like to tell you that the tip that I'm going to share with you today is to scale back. We are so fortunate to live in a modern world with modern conveniences. We have the ability to eat. Hopefully, if you're watching this video, you have the ability to eat any type of food that comes to your mind. If you're living in the first world, you have an opportunity to have any type of food at your fingertips. That's incredible. We live in a very fortunate time, and I have great gratitude for that. However, things can get a little bit out of control when choice is presented to you with that wide of a margin. If you're anything like me and you're trying to figure out what to have for dinner on a given night, you are bombarded with choice to the point where you have a little bit of everything, and then next thing you know, you've overeaten way past what you wanted to eat without really even thinking about it. So when I was running into these problems towards the end of November, my weight was creeping up to a level that I am not really comfortable with. I decided that I wanted to scale back, which is the tip that I gave you earlier. By doing that, I have been able to take a lot of the stress off of choice with food, which is one of my big triggers for a binge eating episode. So by placing some emphasis on scaling back with my choices, I've been able to gain a little bit more control with the amount of food and the quality of food that I'm consuming. And I've been doing this for the whole month of December. So what exactly does scaling back mean? Well, it can be different for different people. For me, it was first and foremost setting a boundary with myself to only eat the food that we purchased at the grocery store and that was in the house. This removed a massive hurdle of mine, and that is the food service apps, DoorDash, Postmates, Uber Eats, being at my fingertips at all times. When I made this decision to only eat the food that was in my house, I deleted those apps off of my phone, and I said, you know what? We go to the grocery store, we spend our hard-earned money on some great food, some quality food that we have planned out for a menu for the week. I'm not going to ruin that by, binging on some McDonald's at 3 a.m. when I decide that I need a little treat. Nothing against having a treat. I do love a good treat every now and again, but for me, it was becoming a crutch. It was becoming something that was pushing my weight above the limit that I was comfortable with, the limit that I have chosen to compete at, and one in which I feel my best. And I felt myself creeping up. My blood pressure was getting a little up there. So I decided it's time to kind of rein it in and figure out how I was going to approach food in the year 2023. You'll notice that that was the only choice that I made. I'm not weighing my food. I'm not tracking with Macro Factor right now. The only thing that I'm doing is eating the food that we purchased at the grocery store in the house. I felt like I was having a lot of negative stress from all of those different factors on top of me, and I was having kind of a bounce back effect where I was just so stressed out that the minute that I pulled all of the control out of my life, I stopped tracking, I stopped measuring, I just went full bore in the opposite direction and started eating everything that was in front of me. Personally, I think that time of pulling the controls away was actually very beneficial for me because it helped me realize that food is not this golden goose that I was making it out to be. It's just there, it's just food, and I'm still trying to repair my relationship with it, understanding that I can take all of those controls and those safeties away, tracking, weighing food, etc., and still kind of come to an understanding of how I want to eat and how I want to eat for performance and for looks. That's really helping me as I move forward with my relationship with food. So the main thing that I want you to take away from this is when you scale back, choose something that will make things a little bit easier for you to process. Make it very one note. Do not say, oh, I'm gonna do this and this and this and this and this to get back on my diet, just give yourself one thing that you're gonna stick to. If you are spending a lot of money and time drinking sugary coffees and you feel like that is kind of pushing your weight above where you're comfortable with, say, you know what, for a couple of weeks, I'm gonna not do that. That's one thing. And then after you do that one thing, assess the results and you can figure out, okay, that was really successful. I'm gonna do that. And then maybe I'm gonna add something else on top of that. For me, I'm going to eat in the house for the rest of the month of December. I'm going home, I'm gonna see the family, still no big restrictions on me. And then in the month of January, I'm going to reassess, maybe get back to tracking, maybe get back to intuitive eating. We will see. But for right now, I'm making the choice just to focus on the one change that I made. I hope you found some value in this video. If you did, go ahead and like, subscribe, send the video around to someone who may be struggling with their diet right now. Hopefully you found something that can kind of anchor you to more successful eating patterns in the future, whatever that means for you, right? It's individual, it's your choice. You have to make the choice about how you want to approach your diet and your overall health. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Get strong and stay strong. Peace.